ground shake.
So far away, the only thing between us is empty space, empty space. And even when the music is loud, I'd rather be no other place than here with you now, here with you now. Here with you. See your face in the crowd, but you don't seem so far away. The only thing between us is empty space, empty space. Even when the music is loud, I'd rather be no other place. Here with you now, here with you now. be no other place than here with you now. Rather be no other place than here with you. I see your face in the crowd, but you don't seem so far away. Nothing between us is empty space, empty space. Even when the music is loud, I'd rather be no other place. Here with you now, here with you now. Here with you now.
Chase the wind and touch the sky. A star's light shines on long after it dies. Oh, in the night, live every day as if it's your last. Our memories been bright like beacons of the past. Oh, in the night, now we race against the sun. Now we race against the now we race against the sun. Now we race against the race against the sun. Now we race against the sun. Race against the
Test, test. There we go. Now it's working. Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of interconference play. Pandora redeeming all 10 for creative players. He'll have 40 points to add to a player for the next draft. I'm Fisek on the call with you this evening, and boy, do we have some spicy matchups today. We're starting out heading to Colonial Plaza. But we'll have the number 4 for the Stingers, Maxwell's, versus Kenda Kook, the number 2 for the Wrong Fielders. After that, we'll make our way to Big Sky Ballpark, where we've got the number 4 Regina Roundhouse for the High Rollers against the number 2 Bonatello for the Moonshots. First part of our nightcap, we'll start with the Walkers against the Unicorns. 2 number 4 pitchers, Stark versus Shit, heading over to Shaka Sports Turf. And then finally, our game of the day, Cyclones versus Dragons. Number 1, Edwards versus number 4, Pepperoni. Purely game of the night just because it's the number 4 Dragons and the number 1 Cyclones. So who knows what is going to happen there. But before all of that, we've got to get our first game underway. So let's go ahead and head to Colonial Plaza. Once again, a reminder that this is interconference play, so that's why all of the colors are off. All of the major squads are repping the colors of their minor league squads this week. And we are going to get underway here at Colonial Plaza. No changes to the lineups for either team, as we'll get our first look at Ken DeCook. Comes into today with 8.3 previous innings of work, 12 hits, 11 earned runs given up, 8 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run, 11.9 ERA, 2.4 WHIP. This one right to Baleen Curtis, throw to first in time for out number 1. That was Beeman Botley. This season is batting 276, OPS of 846, 8 for 29. 1 home run, brings up Ace DeSalsa. DeSalsa 10 of 29 this season for a 345 average, 804 OPS. And earns himself a walk, his 5th walk of the season. Brings up Matthew Kennedy. Well, that's the thing, Pandora, is that the wrong fielders and the center fielders have the same color scheme. You'll see that also with the overdrafts and Lucky Charms as well. This is Matthew Kennedy here. Turn down that audio a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Let me know how it sounds. Matthew Kennedy, 6 of 25 this season, 240 average, 926 OPS because of 2 home runs. But this is Blaine Curse. The throw to second in time. They'll throw to first. 6-4-3 Dragon special. Singers go down. We'll head to the bottom of the first and get our first look at Max Wells for tonight. Wells, in his previous appearance, went 5.1 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run for a 3.38 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. Right to Ace DeSalsa, throw to first in time for the first out. Averaging 6.8 strikeouts per 9 innings. Here is Cherry Drew. 5 for 35 this season, 143 average. Not been what you would like to see from your number 2 hitter. And she's going to move to 5 for 36, as that's easily too high grass in time. Appreciate that, Pandora. Tracy Branch. The wrong fielders with the 7 for 37 at the plate, 189 batting average, 562 OPS. Actually, doesn't lead it. I need to start large system. Taco Burns, on the other hand, 8 for 31 this season, 258 average, as that's going to be taking up for a second and stealing safe. Is Tracy Branch. 765 OPS for Taco Burns. Pops up. Right side, right to high grass. 2-2. This is outside, full count to Taco Burns. Swing and a miss. He got rung up there. Burns leaves a runner at second. We'll head to the top of the second. High grass, Romano Butler due up. Dank Highgrass is only 3 for 22 this season, a 136 average, 523 OPS. Does not have a single extra base hit to his name. Caught by Tracy Branch in foul territory. Ohio Romano. He's only had 6 at-bats this season, so batting 500 with it, but does have a home run. Batting better than Dank Highgrass. Has the same number of hits as Dank Highgrass and 21 less at bats. And she gets rung up there. Caught up looking.
Number 13.
Tyrone Butler. 7 for 28, 250 average, 715 OPS. Right side, diving tap by Tracy Branch. Oh, to Kenny Cook, step on the bag. Cook is locked in, and the Stingers are scoreless through 2. Fruity, Carl Scott, Drew Heaven, due up.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Designated hitter,
Number
True.
18.
Batting 500, 6 at bats this season. Riding the bench earlier this season. Traded to the wrong fielders.
The center fielder.
Here is Carl Scott.
Number 49.
9 for 36, 250 average, 639 OPS. Left side, picked up by Phelps, throw to first, in time, 2 gone.
Now batting, the
Up
catcher.
Drew Heaven.
Number 12.
Batting leader for the wrong fielders, 12 for 31 this season, 387 average, 1.022 OPS. Up the middle. And Drew Heaven continues to get on base.
The shortstop. Number
441 on base percentage. Brings up the shortstop, Bailey Curtis, and that one is up the middle. That is the 5th hit of the season for Bailey Curtis. Came in today with a 143 average, 393 OPS, so great to see her getting on base. And here is one plaintiff before we head back to the top of the order. 5 for 26 this season, 192 average. Swing! Gonna miss. He gets rung up there. Led to the top of the 3rd, still scoreless here at Colonial Plaza.
Now batting, the center fielder. Number 9.
Yeah, interesting. What is her overall positions? Diving grab by Tracy Branch.
The catcher. Number
Penelope
3.
Garcia, the only player with a triple for either of these 2 squads this season. Batting 7 for 23, 304 average, 768 OPS. This is a sky deep into center, but Carl Scott is there for the 2nd out.
Now batting, the third baseman. Number 29.
Curtis is a shortstop and also secondary outfield. Curtis, throw to first in time. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still scoreless here at Colonial Plaza.
Now batting,
Yeah, she's season 2 as well.
number
Not bad stats at all. Who's gonna trade for her though? I've already got Gary Starr. I don't need a DH because I've got me. Popped up left field. And caught by Butler for the first out.
now batting, the third baseman. Number 36.
Brings up Cherry Jew. I could see, here's the thing. If Bailey Curtis existed next season, I could use her. Swing and a miss. She got rung up there.
Now batting,
Brings up Tracy Branch, as in like if she was, for example, a season 3, and she was available next season. Well, she's 400. We're actually in the process of finalizing this. This is Sky deep into center, but that should die. Actually in the process of finishing up what we believe the aging is going to be for season tours next season, or for each one. So this is not final yet, but right now it's looking around minus 65 to minus 45 points. Probably about what they're gonna lose. And oh no! A 0.1% chance that Tracy Branch misses it.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 20.
And so just like that, Botley is on second. He'll advance to third. This time Tracy Branch remembers how to catch a ball.
Now batting,
The one gone, and an RBI opportunity for Matthew Kennedy. Yeah, negative traits. It's looking like you could potentially use secondary. I think we're talking about like you could use like 2 secondary points to get rid of a negative trait or something like that. Still finalizing it. This ball is hit deep in the center, and no matter what, it's gonna be a 1-0 Stingers lead as they capitalize off of the Tracy Branch error.
now batting, the first baseman.
1-0 Stingers, and here is Dank Highgrass. Yeah, so minus 65 to minus 45 potential points lost. Right to Bailey and Curtis, throw to first, in time. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Burns, Fruity, and Scott all due up. Yeah, Marge, that was one thing that I was thinking about, because, like, I'm obviously in a position where, I mean, like, no matter what, the Dragons are pretty much going to a rebuild next season. The only way we don't go into a rebuild is if 2 things happen. Ooh, beanball to Taco Burns, so he'll get on base. Now I'll bring up Trudy Fruity. Now the wrong fielders will look to get back into this and tie it up. But that's not going to do it. Wells to DeSalsa, throw to first, and oh no! Dank Highgrass with a 0.1% chance miss. What are the odds? Actually, I can tell you what the odds are. The odds that both, now this gets into complex maths, but basically the odds that happens.
Now batting, the catcher, number 12.
That is a 0.0001% chance that both first basemen of both squads missed an out there. Trading for a Marge, if you're trading for a first baseman, let me tell you, there are a lot of first basemen out there. There's so many good first basemen out there. Oh my gosh. And he rings him up there. Ken the Kook starting to cruise here.
Number 13.
Still locked in, even after giving up the run, because again, that was off of the Tracy Branch error. Anyways, back to what your point was, Marge. I am hesitating on using secondary points, as that's a nice way to beat out
Now batting, the center fielder.
Bro there. Diving attempt by Ken to Cook, able to stop it, but not able to get it to first in time. It's because that when you use someone at their secondary, they are so bad fielding wise. So incredibly bad. As this ball is jacked, heading deep, back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 3-0 Stingers as they get through Cook. Right at Burns, throw to first, 2 gone.
Now batting,
Like if someone, because the average fielder has what, like 50 to 60 fielding, which normally isn't that bad. Like that's enough to suffice. As that one's up the middle, 2 out, single.
second baseman.
But
number
if
21.
put them in their secondary, that's like instantly like 30 fielding. Whitney, when you get a chance, can you send me the text scroll that you had for yesterday? Popped up. Shallow center. Coming in from second and making the grab is Taco Burns. A 2-run shot by Pixel, though, puts the Stingers up 3-0 right into the bottom of the fifth. Curtis Plaintiff Lance. No worries, Whit. Was this whenever you get the chance.
The shortstop, number 44.
Right side. Caught by Kenny for the first out.
Now
Up went Plaintiff.
the left fielder.
My problem areas, because I've got some pretty old players. If give you an idea, right to Botley, throw to first in time. It's looking like season oneers are probably going to lose about between 85 to 65 points as of right now in aging. In which case, my entire roster gets like nuked to oblivion. Pixel is there. Like we're talking Stub Esposito will go from a 377 overall to like a 300 potentially, depending on where the points fall. Who else loses a lot? Sponge and Von Crum are both season 2ers. They'll both be passable.
Number 5.
They lose 60, they'll be passable. 2 outs, runners on first and second, but that's right to the pitcher. They'll get out, then he heads to the top of the 6th. Romfielder's still looking for a run. Who else is going to get? And then, of course, like, my 3 solid pitchers, Hanson, Bradley, and Scottish, are all going to get, you know, same pulled away, so instantly become 200 pitchers. This ball is jack deep, heading back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 438 feet, and De Salsa makes it 4-0.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 2.
Angels for sure are gonna die. But back to what I was saying earlier, is that one's just foul. That was close. If it depends on how bad my team gets nuked. If the Dragons are able to win a Super Series this year, I want to at least try to see if they could repeat. It's gonna be hard enough to win the Super Series this year. Yeah, granted, I have to make playoffs first. I've never been able to get playoffs.
Now batting, the first baseman.
What's up, Builder?
Now pitching.
Here is Hank Murphy to come in. Hank Murphy, ladies and gents, we'll take a look at his stats. Hank Murphy has pitched nearly 25 innings this season. Got an ERA of 5.47, is averaging 7.3 strikeouts per 9, has given up 15 earned runs, also struck out 20. As he strikes him out there, Murphy continues the case.
Designated hitter, number 6.
Ohio Romano, Pence, a runner in scoring position. Then again, I haven't really thought about the Dragons' future just because I've been busy with a lot of stuff. But now that like aging is starting to become pretty solid and we know what's gonna happen,
Batting, the left fielder.
it's looking like it's either this season or bust. And I'm taking nothing for granted as he gets rung up there. Hank Murphy strikes out another. Well, it's to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 4-0 Stingers.
Now batting, the second baseman,
I still have to say is that one is through fair. That'll be a leadoff double. Who was it who hit that? Was that Taco Burns?
Now batting.
I think that was Taco Burns. I think it's true.
Hitter number 18.
You hate it with the puppet. You hate it with the colors, or you just hate it in general. Like a wasp more than anything. The stingers usually are what, like bees, and this one's like the wasp. What do you think about the wrong fielder's colors? Fruity Fruity earns a walk, so runners on first and second, nobody out, and here's Carl Scott.
Fielder number 49.
No, Aggie, you're just colorblind. Yes, Aggie, it's intracom. Faces salsa, Botley, throw to first in time, so the wrong fielders go from runners on first and second, nobody out.
Number 12.
Runner on third, 2 on. Elder, not see the chat. It's interconference week, so every team in the majors is using their minors colors. And just like that, the wrong fielders put runners on first and second, nobody out, and they get nothing.
Now batting.
Head to the top of the 7th.
Number 9.
Flash Pixel, do up. Hulkman excited for high roller baseball. Oh.
Now batting. The catcher number 3.
Left, caught by Win Plaintiff for the second out. The
The third base.
the using points to get rid of negative traits is still under review. It's not as solid as where aging is right now. I think we're kind of in agreement for where aging is pretty.
Number 21.
So that will hopefully get released soon. The thought was, and again, it's more likely to happen than not happen. That's what I'll say. Is that you could potentially use like 2 pitch points or 2 secondary points to get rid of a negative. No, actually, Cyclones and Dragons have different colors. That one is into center right, and that will definitely score a runner. Beamham and Botley with an RBI double, and it's 5-0 Stingers. It's funny because the Dragons will be yellow and green,
Number 20.
which gets into the whole joke before. And Cyclones, they've got a little bit different. That one's to the left side, and it's going to be 6-0 Stingers. Creative your choice or random. Also, can you remove 2 if you have the points or just 1? So it's not to add a trait. It's only to remove a trait. And I would assume, again, this is not finalized, I would assume you would choose which trait you would want to remove if there are multiple bad traits. This one is deep to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Matthew Kennedy with a line drive into center, and it's 8-0 Stingers.
Now batting. The first baseman.
Elder, we want to refrain from it, actually, that's not the right way to say it. It has not been discussed using Twitch points for that. Yeah, large margin. I would assume what it would be that you would get to choose. I assume. Mainly just because, like, if you're already investing like 2 secondary trait points on that, it's a lot to invest into it. 7th inning stretch. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to interconference action here in week 7. 5 seconds on the call. Make sure that you are following the official SSBL Twitch and join the Discord for everything SSBL related. Into right. Caught by Pixel in center right. Yeah, the only reason why I say it may or may not happen is because it's still in the discussion phase. There, in terms of like the league office, no one in the league office was adamant against it so far. We've been very intensely discussing aging for the past like day. Into left, caught by Butler. Like we're talking like, gosh, was that like Squared and Whitney? Was that like? I feel like there was like 60 messages that we all exchanged discussing aging. Because our biggest concern with aging is power creep. We think there are a lot of powerful players right now. We also are a little bit concerned about. I mean, for a really good example actually is like someone like Mario Wrestles, who gained a lot of points because he's a good pitcher, and so he's nearly back up to all 99s if he isn't already. Into left, caught by Plaintiff for the second out. Yeah, so we're concerned about players like Mario Wrestles, who, like, listen, from what we discussed, we think that the average career of a player will probably be around 5 seasons if they're like a medium, like average player. So one thing that we wanted to do was alter the aging curves so that there is more of a steep drop-off happening. That's to branch in time. The wrong fielder's down to the last 6 outs to try to bite in. I think let me check. I think Brock Hansen was not good enough. But Brock Hansen's, Hannah Bradley is up to 206. Woody Scotch is at 273. So like that's what our concern was like specifically like players like Hansen, Bradley. It's funny because when we were discussing it, they all mentioned the 3 Dragons pitchers who are all season winners, like Hansen, Bradley, and Scottish, who because they're so good they'll gain. That's going to do it for Max Wells. Kyle Landry is going to come in. One note for the Stingers is that they do have Debbie Bloods now as a long reliever, so watch out for that. Landry, 6.71 ERA and 1.1 innings of work. Currently shutting out the wrong fielders. Here is Taco Burns. High grass, step in the bag. 1, 2, 3, they go. We'll head to the 9th inning. Stingers with an 8-0. So that's why it's like up to like between 85 to 65 is what we're thinking. Season winners to really reduce them down. Branch is there for the out. That'll severely nerf them, hopefully. And then like the next year it'll be even more they're brought in, because we want to make sure that we're starting to get some new players in. The first 4 seasons of this league, it was all about the current players that we have, but now that we have a really solid draft system, a really solid minor league system, we want to make sure that those players get up to the major, because especially if a player's career is only going to be around like 5 seasons, we want to make sure that they're actually able to get up into the into center right, and the Stingers have been feasting on that all day. That might turn into a triple, and it will. A 2-out triple here in the top of the 9th inning with 2 gone by Beamerman Botley, and here is Ace de Salsa, who is locked in. Drew throw to first. Branch catches the ball. 8-0 into the bottom of the 9th. Fruity, Scott, and Heaven all due up.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 18.
Well, if the Stingers hold on here, it will be just their 2nd win of the season. They'll move to 2-6. Funnily enough, not completely out of the playoff picture either. It's the Salsa, throw to first, 1 gone.
Now
For the wrong fielders, if this holds on, they'll move to 3-7. They'll be 2 games out from the last playoff spot in the heroic.
Now batting, the catcher.
Brings up Drew Heaven, 2 gone. Stingers looking to shut out the wrong fielders and get the first win for the Epic in Interconference after the Knights and Vikings got wins yesterday. And swing and a miss. She gets run up there. And a beautiful performance from the Stingers pitching. Eight to nothing. 5 hits given up, 1 error. Basically, yeah, around like season 3, I believe actually. Let me get through this real quick. 5 total hits for the wrong fielders, 10 for the Stingers, most of them multi-hits. Botley, DeSalza, Kennedy, and Phelps all. Maxwell's gets the win, 7.1 innings, 5 hits. Kendaku gets the loss, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 innings pitched. Player of the game is going to be Matthew Kennedy, followed by Asa Salsa, then Max Wells. So before we show to commercial, let's see. In terms of where aging is going to peak, so a player with 3 seasons of experience, so a season 4 right now, if you have a season 4 player, they will not have negative aging. They will gain anywhere between 0 to 15 points this offseason. Again, this is not completely solidified yet, but it's like 95%. If they are season 3, they are losing anywhere between 35 to 15 points. Again, 35 would be the most extreme end of the curve. Not many players are going to be losing 35. Not many players are going to be losing 15. Most of them are probably going to be losing anywhere between 20 to 30. And we'll hope to have that for everyone. All right, well, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got High Rollers versus Moonshots. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the SSBL right here on Twitch. I'll answer your question, Pandora, when we come back.
Oh, the hero comes, I can hear the drums and a horse is drawn to
We're heading now to Big Sky Ballpark. High Rollers versus Moonshots. It'll be Regina Roundhouse versus Bonatello. Have to think that the advantage is for the Moonshots. See what they can do.
The left fielder.
Alex Longstop is going to lead things off. All right, so Pandora. So it's just auto losing points if you're season 3. No chance at the lost chain. Correct. So that one is through. Leadoff single for Longstop. So it's almost kind of similar to like
Batting, the second baseman.
yeah, basically season 3 they will start to lose. Something like a 10 to 20% not lose. Again, the main thing that we're considering is that is a horrible pickoff attempt by Bonatello. Runner gets to second. Picked up by Plum North, throw to first in time, 1 gone. The thing that we're considering is that their players are still going to be gaining a lot of points throughout their careers. You lost 8-0. So it's basically to counteract the power key. Because basically, if a player loses, and we were like talking about this, if a season, so like a rookie has their first season, their second season they gain a lot, their third season, hold on, let me think of it this way. As that's grabbed by Curls for the second out.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 40.
Deep into right, tracking back, and that gets past Matty Musgroves, and it'll be 1-0 High Rollers.
Now batting,
They'll have 2
designated
minutes.
hitter, number 4.
So anyways, back to what I was saying before. The reason why it's -35 to -15 for a player after their 4th season is because they will have gained a lot of points before they get, as he gets rung up there. So by the time they get to like their 5th season, they need to already be, if it's going to be a 5 season. That's why they start losing. Because again, the whole thing is we want more players to get in through the pipeline of minors. Because the issue that we run into is the same issue that was being discussed in the lore. As she rings them up there, which was there are too many powerful players. But part of that is also preventing players from getting that powerful to start with. Let me go ahead and pull up the stats of the new team. Up the middle. Runner is aboard.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 4.
Check on the runner. So, Regina Roundhouse only went 2.1 innings in her first appearance. Gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, ERA of 11.6. And facing down right now, Kodiak Destroyer, 11 for 35. Making 11 for 36. My gosh, this is the richest prediction it's ever been.
Number 13.
Elder, when in terms of like a 5-season career, that's really, I would honestly say it might even turn to be 6 innings or 6 years. 6 seasons might be there.
Now batting.
It just
The
depends,
second
but
baseman,
you
number 7.
can expect a double steal attempt, and they get the runner at third. The Moonshots get nothing from it. Led to the top of the second. Turnpike, Uptown, and Strudley due up. You can expect a player entering their... You can actually expect them entering their 5th season to lose points a little bit, and entering their 6th season, they're losing a decent chunk of points. And by the time they're entering their 7th season, they are getting nerfed out to the dickens. And again, we might even need to take a look at nerfing it even more.
57.
Basically, right now, a season 6 player next season will gain anywhere from 15 to 35 points. Right, Dreams, second. And that's the double play, I guess. This game is so weird sometimes. Season 6ers can gain anywhere from 15 to 35 points. Season 5s can expect to gain anywhere between 5 to 25 points. Season 4s can expect to gain no to 15 points. Season 3 can expect to lose anywhere between 35 to 15. Season 2 can expect to lose anywhere between 65 to 45. And Season 1ers can expect to lose anywhere between 2. And you can expect, I believe what we are saying is entering Season 8, anyone entering their 8th season will automatically get 100 points gone. Like, and again, like all this is random in terms of where those points are getting lost. But a season, someone who enters their 8th season will, no matter what, lose 100 points. Walk there. Yeah, that's the thing, is that we're hoping that there aren't any more 20-point players, and we want to make it a little bit. The league already has enough parity as it is, but we really want to make it. So let's see. For example, let's think of who is the lowest Season 1 player I have. Lowest Season 1 player that I have. Walk there. Siren Pierce has 275. So Pierce has 275. Next season, let's say she loses the minimum. Let's consider the minimum for what could happen. So next season she could be at 210 would be the best case scenario. Season after that she'd be 110. Entering season 8 she would be 110. Which would mean, which would put her below Ryzen's. As she gets rung up there. Yeah, so Siren Pierce could be worse than a Ryzen entering season 8. This ball is hit deep into right, tracking back at the track at the wall. It's out of here. A second decker, 412 feet. A grand slam. And the Moonshots Go up 4-1. Yeah, me too. That ball, it was such a deep parabola. I think that it shows just how far that that second deck there leans up over the front. But yeah, I thought that was potentially just gonna be caught. Starts Nick Hugh MVP. Well, Nick Hugh entering that at bat was as he gets swung up there. Entering that at bat, Nick Hugh was 19 for 40 with a 1.337 ERA. So it wouldn't be starting the MVP chat. He is already solidly in it. Let's get in some of these stats. Unless you guys have more questions about that type of stuff, I don't mind talking about it. It makes the games go faster, honestly. Piston Omen batting 5 of 20. Entering today, 250 average, 848 OPS. That one is caught by Plum North for the first out. Back to the top of the order, Alex Longstop. 6 for 27, 222 average, 583 OPS. Bonatello, by the way. 9.1 innings of work, 13 hits, 10 earned runs, 9 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 home runs. 9.65 ERA. That's a walk. And now here is Wally Woolley. 7 for 24 average, 7 for 24, 292 average. Right to Earl Crump. Man, they just let me get through all these stats. Max range, 7 for 20 this season, 350 average, 1.1 OPS. Runner takes off for a second. The throw, not in time. Long stop is in safely. Yeah, 9.6 ERA. Bonatello. Donut, in case you haven't been watching the moonshots this season, they have had a horrendous bout of luck. Able to get the out there. Moonshot's still on the playoff picture, currently in the number 6 seed. A win here would put them at 500. Up the middle, nice dive by Turnpike to throw to first in the dirt. It would have been in time. Yeah, you know what? That's going to do it for Regina Roundhouse again. Not a lot of work for her. And here is Bobby Farmhand. Gives up a single. Runners heading towards third. The throw by Piston Omen, not in time. Runners on the corners. Yeah, that's what's nice about interconference. It just makes it nice. Runner takes out for a second. The throw, not in time. Runners on second and third for Dale Blanco. Blanco 4 for 34 this season, 118 average. Bobby Farmhand, by the way, 2.2 innings pitched this season. 16 point. Oh no, that's the wrong player. 6.76 ERA brings up French Pastry. 12 for 38 this season, 316 average. 1.01 OPS. As he gets rung up there. Brings up Bellator curls. And we'll go ahead and have a look at how these teams got to where they are today. For the High Rollers, started with a 6-9 loss to the Bombers, followed by 2 wins against the Angels and Ball Players as he gets rung up there. Moonshots can't add any more. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Ollie Foe Turnpike up. Losses to the Serpents and Stingers put them at 2-3, and then have moved themselves to a 4-3 record after wins over the Skulls of Rock, and yesterday Sice dominant 16-2 win over the number 4 pitcher for the Cyclone. For the Moonshots, it's been an interesting season as he gets rung up there. Started out with 2 losses to the Retrievers and Overdrafts, 4-8 and 4-5 respectively. got things back on track with a 15-0 win over the wrong field. I actually want to see, after I look up this stuff, I want to see how many times the wrong fields have been shut out this season. Lost 2-17 to the Walkers. Then won 14-9 over the Gauchos. 3 straight games for the Moonshots where a team went into double digits. Then a tough, close 6-7 loss to the Lumberjacks. A 4-2 win over the Wrongfielders to get the series sweep. Throw to second. In time, they get the runner. So 2 gone, 2 on count to Turnpike. An 8-12 loss to the Knights, and then a close 10-9 win over the Gauchos for the Moonshots. Put 4-5, and then I do want to go to Wrongfield. Wrongfielders, they've only been shut out twice. They've been shut out twice. They have been held to 2 runs in their 5. In their 10 games this season, 2 out of those 10 games they've scored no runs. 3 out of those 10 they've scored 1 run. Half of their games they've scored less than 2 runs. And for 7 of those games they have scored less than 4 runs. Nice grab by Max Range there. I always look like Baptist Church on these. Matty Musgroves gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Fine dollies there, throw to first in time. That's to the top of the 5th, and I'll be right back.
Now batting, the catcher, number 57. Now batting, the right fielder, number 10. Now batting, the center fielder, number 27.
This ball is jacked, heading deep, back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 454 feet. Piston Omen makes it a 1-run game.
Fielder, number 25.
What a jack. That one is through the center right side, and that's going to be a double for the High Rollers, and he thought about 3.
Now batting, the second baseman,
Wally Woolley. That ball was absolutely left side. Kodiak Destroyer, throw to first. 2 gone.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 89.
See it squared. Nice win. IDK, Pandora, what is Destroyer's arm? That one's up the runner. Runner's gonna come home. The throw is not in time, and we're tied at 4.
The third baseman, now pitching.
That'll do it for Bonatello. Pat Gross will come in. Pat Gross, the 3rd best pitcher stats-wise this season. And he's got a 5.51 ERA, if that tells you anything about the Moonshots. Bullpen struggles. That's right, direct green stuff on the bag. Luckily, they get out before any more damage happens. But 3 put up by the High Rollers. As this game up at 4.
Now batting,
Moonshots have been known for their long ball this season. 17 home runs. That one's right to the glove of Blind Ollie. 17 home runs for the Moonshots this season.
Number 13.
That's a lot of home runs. Popped up behind the plate.
Now batting, the second
You miss an
baseman,
absolute 454-foot jack by Piston Omen that made it 4-3. And then double followed by a blooper up into center, brought on the other run. Up the middle. 2-out rally here.
Now batting, the center fielder.
Here is Dale Blanco.
40.
Farmhand locked in. Start to turn right, throw to first. Moonshots don't respond. We're heading to the 6th. It's a tie game at 4.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 4.
Issue for the Moonshots this honestly been the pitching. That's a walk there.
Now batting, the shortstop, number
This season, Moonshots have a team ERA of 7.96. That is 18th in the league. Only teams with worse ERAs. There are 2 teams. Who do you think are the 2 worst teams in the league for pitching ERA? Then who do you think is the top 2? Tag! Throw to first in time. Nice job by Crump.
now batting, the catcher, number 50.
The 2 worst teams by ERA are the Lumberjacks and the Gauchos. The Lumberjacks, as she gets hung up there, have an ERA of 8.2. The Gauchos have an ERA of 9.76.
Designated hitter,
The number 2 ERA team in the league is the Dragons with the 2.9. Number 1 is the Serpents with a 2. That's a walk by Farmhand.
Now batting, the catcher. Now pitching, number 30.
Aw, dang it, my hole. The batting thing. Oh, that's why that's. As he gets rung up there.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 12.
Yep, that sorts it out. Bully, throw to first in time, 2 gone.
Now batting, the left.
Who do you think has the number 1 and number 2 hitting offense in the league? And Whitney, don't look at the stats. Broken bat in 1-2 with 2 gone. Nothing comes from it. We'll head to the 7th inning, still a 4-4 game. Oh, you were just guessing?
Now batting, the right fielder, number 10.
The number 2 hitting team in the league
The center fielder,
is the Moonshots
27.
with a 322 average. They lead the league with 17 home runs. They lead the league with 104 hits. Second in the league in runs, 7 runs. Also,
Now
fun
batting,
fact,
the left
have the
fielder,
second most
number
strikeouts of
25.
any team. They have 50 strikeouts. The Vikings have 54 strikeouts. Number 1 hitting team in the league is the Dragons, 352 average. Runner takes out for a second to throw, not in time. I believe that's Omen, who is safely into second. That one's up the middle. Omen's gonna come home. And the high rollers. Oh, what a throw! From deep in center. And we're still tied at 4. What a throw by Dale Blanco. Fun fact, the Serpents are the 4th best hitting team. The Walkers are the 3rd best. All right, and now who do you think are the 3 worst hitting teams in the league? Into shallow left. That one is through. Runner's going to come home. The throw by Nick Hugh. This time it gets through. And the High Rollers take a 1-run lead.
Baseman, number 89.
Popped up. And looks like the margin's going to stay at 1. We'll head to the 7:30 stretch. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Here for day 2 of interconference action. I am Bysag on the call. Be sure that you are following the official SSBL Twitch and join us in the Discord for everything SSBL related. Must goes to Turnpike for the first out. The 3rd worst hitting team is the Bombers, 258 average. The second from the worst team is the Lumberjacks, the 243, and the worst team, the 240 average, wrong fielders.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 13.
Blind Ollie there with the grab. Fully enough, Whitney.
The
Your
second
team has 48 walks this season, which is only 2 less than the league leader. Oh. Apologies. Using Bluetooth. I lost my cord. That one is into right. We'll head to the 8th inning. It's still a 1-run lead for the High Rollers.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 40.
Yeah, it's very random. Nice dive by Wreck Dreams. Throw steps on the bag, 1 gone.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 4.
Becky Foe. About to destroy it, throw to first. 2 gone.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 20.
Here is Vic Turnpike. Full count, 2 gone to Vic Turnpike. Stays alive. and earns himself a walk. Pat Gross's third walk of the day.
Now batting, the catcher.
Here is a tense 0-for-3 Arcane Uptown. Right to Plum North, throw to first in time. They get out of that inning without giving up a run. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Moonshots looking to find some way in here.
The center fielder, number 40.
Donut, what do you mean? Are you saying that you don't feel comfortable against the number 2 scoring offense in the league? Gil Blanco pops up, right side, max range, one gone.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Brings up French pastry.
21.
Rio. And ladies and gents, that's a 4-pitch block from Tipsy Reynolds.
Now batting, the catcher, number 18.
Bellator curls. 0-for-3 today. Hey, you're out hitting the wrong fielders. This one into left. That one's through. Long stop makes the grab to prevent extra bases. So one gone, runners on first and second, and here is a tense 0-for-3 Plum North, and that is going to bring in a pinch hitter, Ben Ark. Moonshot still lead to get something here. It's jacked, heading deep, back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. One pitch hitter, one swing, and the Moonshots take a 7-5 lead. I think you are uncomfortable for a reason, Donut. Ben Ark. And Tipsy Reynolds gives up her third walk today.
Batting, the right fielder,
Here is Maddie Musgroves.
29.
This ball is jacked. AD back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Where is your God now, High Rollers? The Moonshots have a 4-run lead.
Baseman, number 4.
And we're finding out how the Moonshots are the number 2 scoring offense. Whitney, it did, because the Moonshots are taking them to church.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 13.
1-1 count. Tipsy Reynolds, in nearly 3 innings, has given up only 3 hits, but has given up 5 earned runs and 3 walks. This will be an outing to forget for Tipsy Reynolds. Rudley, Omen, top of the order, due up for the High Rollers.
Now batting, the right fielder, number now in the game, number
Helga King will come in at short. Pat Gross looking to close this out for the Moonshots. If the Moonshots hold on, Heroic will move to a 3-1 lead in interconference play. This ball is hit deep by Omen, but caught by Blanco. 2 gone.
Now batting, the
And here is Alex Longstop.
Number 25.
Into right, tracking. Oh no! Off of the glove of Matty Musgroves.
Now
Oy, jeez.
number 3.
What the heck? Imagine if the High Rollers come and win it because of that. 2-1 count. 3-1. And that's a walk.
Now batting.
Max range now. Or is that first and second? That'll do it for Gross. Eijin Sawamura. No, it's not time to panic. Where's your faith? No way the Moonshots give this up here. That's through the gap. Runner will come home. The throw by Nick Hugh is not in time. And that is off of the backstop. Runner's thought about going. No way. Guys, there is no way the Moonshots give this up. Even with blind ollie up, one swing away from tying up this game, there is no way. God, you there? Where is your God, High Rollers? Nope, can't be found anywhere. Just enough to tease you. High Rollers making a fun score though, 6-9. Alone hits to 8. In the end, 2 homers do it for the Moonshots in the bottom of the 8th inning. Long stop, 3 for 4. Had a great day. Uptown, the only one that didn't get a hit. Ben Ark. What a performance from him. 1 pitch from 1 swing. Pat Gross will get the win. Sawamura gets the save. Tipsy Reynolds will earn the loss. Nick Hugh, your player of the game, followed by Alex Longstop and Ben Ark. Well, we're halfway through day 2. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got Walkers versus Unicorns. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the SSBL right here on Twitch. We're heading to Shaka Sports Turf for Walkers versus Unicorns. So far, Heroic is leading interconference play 3-1. As we'll get to see a Walkers lineup that now has some familiar faces in the Heroic. You're blind with those Unicorns colors.
The shortstop, number 12.
Dallas, Texas to lead things off. It almost feels, I know that these are minors colors for all these teams. It feels, I think the reason why it feels cool is it feels like retro. And she rings them up.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 32.
The colors on the uniforms look good. I like because those are literally the corns of pop colors.
Take your base.
Walk to Kip Shaw.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 9.
Drew Hart, runner on first. Up the middle, Jackson, Odor, throw to first. In time, Dragons special. Odor will lead things off here for the Unicorns.
Number 13. No.
Let me. That's
Break. Ball high. Strike 3.
swing and a miss. She gets rung up there.
Now batting.
He even gets rung up there by she.
Number 47.
Gertrude Stark this season. 1.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 earned runs given up. And that her 5th walk of the season.
The left fielder, number
Batting wise, here is French Tater. Popped up into right. Tater entered today 9 for 28, 321 average, 959 OPS. Pops out to Wackett.
Now batting, the third base.
Brings up Ash Frost.
21.
8 for 27 this season, 296 average, 869 OPS. Pops this up. Blazers redeeming +4. We'll head to the top of the second inning.
Now batting, the catcher, number 44.
How far would that be to hit it there? Eddie Ortiz. 9 for 27 this season. Right at shit. Nice grab by her.
The first baseman,
Here is Velma Betancourt. And I don't have her stats because she's a
ball inside. Ball inside. Ball 4, take your base. Now
walk to her.
the right fielder, number 5.
Up wingspan Wackett. 10 for 31 this season. 323 average, 1.092 OPS. That one's to the right side. Runners on first and second for the Walkers. Brings up Severus Sevi Cycle Shernley.
Number 34. Strike.
He is, despite hitting for the cycle, only 6 for 29 this season. 207 average, 757 OPS. Left side, will it stay in play? It will. Frost is there.
Now batting, the left fielder.
Blazers
number
redeem
18.
another +4.
That's inside. That's inside.
Galileo Cat, acquisition from the Unicorn.
Strike.
First time they get to face against each other. Rowan Baloney is also in the lineup. Cat is 7 for 12 this season and earns his 5th walk. Oh no, Baloney is not in the lineup. Ronald Doctor, 8 for 19 this season. This one is up the middle. 1 run will score. Another one coming home. It's a nice throw by Covey. Not in time. 2-0 Walkers, and that brings up Dallas, Texas, 17 for 33 this season. 515 average, 1.313 OPS. He's finally found his place here in the Walkers lineup after years of not necessarily getting where he needs to be. Earns himself a 4-pitch walk there.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 32. Follow. Break.
Hipshaw. Right to Ash Frost. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Jackson irons Kobe Foot.
The shortstop, number 7.
Jackson 8 for 28 this season, 286 average, 869 OPS. Right side, foul territory, caught by Betancourt for the first out. Picks up Ura Irons, 10 for 24 this season. Make that 11 for 25. The man can hit. 440 average for him. Now bring up Condra Covey. 6 for 27 this season. 222 average. 546 OP. That one, nice try by Kuhart. Throw to first in time. 2 gone. The Retrievers connection there. Hart to Betancourt, and that brings up Ali Martin. 4 for 24 this season. 167 average, 367 OPS. That one, nice time by Dallas, Texas, to throw to first in time. They get out. Martin will head to the top of the 3rd. 2-0 Walker.
The second baseman, number 9.
Well, now that we've been able to get through most of the stats for all these teams, take a look at how these teams got to where they are. And that one, no effort there at short. That one's over the glove, so runner aboard, and here is Eddie Ortiz.
Number 44. That's outside.
Yeah, that was a trade. Actually, before we talk about how these teams got here, maybe talk about the trades.
No. That's inside.
So the trade back on April 17th, so 10 days ago, so that's a walk there. Walkers got Betancourt and Hart.
Number 5.
Retrievers got Yankee Nobrim, a 1st-round pick, and 2 second-round picks for this upcoming draft. Got the Walkers' 1st-round pick. This one is Jack Deep, heading back to the track and caught by Covey at the track. Runner will tag at 2nd, head to 3rd. So runners on the corners, 1 out. And here is Wingsman Wackett.
Right fielder, number 5.
In terms of where those picks will end up, if the Walkers are able to make it into the postseason, I have to think that their pick could probably be around, depending on how well they do. That one's up the middle. It's going to be 3-0 Walkers. Could be anywhere from number 12, and the Walkers win it all. Could be the 20th pick. And then Dragons and Knights, also teams that will most likely make the postseason. So round picks, you know, anywhere from like 30 to 40 as well. Some late round picks for the 1st and 2nd. Not bad at all. Of course, that really puts the Walkers in an area. It kind of reminds us of the ball players last season. where it's kind of like they need to win this season because they're going to get hit hard by aging this offseason. Well, the bases are loaded for Cat. Pops up into right. Is it deep enough for the runner to tag? Earp's got an arm, and runner will not tag. So the base is loaded. 2 outs, and here is Ronald Doctor. Why don't we ask, is he in the chat? I don't see Pasta in the chat. 3-1 count. Doctor swing and a miss there. Full count. Runners will go. Popped up. Out of play. The pitch. Popped up again. And the Walkers won't get anything with the bases loaded. Chit picks out of it. Only 1 run given up right into the bottom of the 3rd. Earp, top of the order, due up. We'll now take a look at how these teams got to where they are. Start first with the surprise team, the Unicorn. This season, 3 for 4, currently tied with 2 other teams for the last 2 places in postseason bracket. Started the season 2-0, have been 1-4 since then as she rings them up there. Brings up Jose Odor. 4-3 win over the Skulls of Rock, 9-5 win over the Bombers. Bombers then split the season series with a 5-1 win over the Unicorns in week 3. And the Angels got a 14-6 win over the Unicorns. Nice grab there by Crewhart. Lost to the Wildcats 7-8 in a close game and then won 5-3 over the Stingers before losing 4-5 to the Ball Players. So easily could be a team that instead of being 3-4 could easily be 5-2. 1, 2, 3 go the Unicorns. Led to the top of the 4th. Top of the order due up for the Walkers, who this season have been hit or miss, honestly. Started off the season getting outscored 30-6. 6-14 loss to the Knights. 16-0 loss to the Dragons. That one's up the middle. Dallas, Texas is aboard. A 17-2 win over the Moonshots, then a close 8-7 win over the Overdrafts, put them at 500. And they currently sit at 4-3 after they had a 12-2 win over the Wrong Fielders, lost 5-7 to the Vikings, and then won 15-4 over the Lumberjacks. Runner takes off for a second, throw not going to be in time. Rio to Kipshaw. Finds the zone. Runner on second, nobody out. Hit well, foul, full count. Hit pitching on fumes and walks Shaw. That should be the end of it for her. Here's Crewhart. Grogu will come in. Guys, I'm very proud of my Grogu. I designed him. Doesn't he look like a humanoid version of him? I'm trying to make the eyes as buggy as possible. Double steal the throw to third in time! Sit down, Dallas, Texas! Count to Crewhart. That one's off the glove. Runner's going to head towards third. Runners on the corners. One gone. Here is Eddie Ortiz. The Mandalorian. Baby Yoda. Spoiler alert. This ball is hit deep. Tracking back to the track and off of the wall. 1 run scores. Runners on second and third, and it's 4-0 Walkers with 1 gone. Elma Betancourt now. Walk will load the bases. 1 gone. Great opportunity for the Walkers to blow this game open. This ball is hit deep. Heading back. to the track and caught by Tater in the middle of the track. Runners will tag, 1 run will score. Runners on the corners, it's 5-0 Walkers. 2 gone.
Designated hitter, number 34.
Severus Sevi cycles Shernley here. Right to the glove of Jackson. Throw to second instead of going to first. And so what was a very threatening opportunity for the Walkers turns into 2 runs.
Now
5-0 the score.
left fielder, number 69.
Yeah, I really liked the Mandalorian. Gertrude Stark is locked in. Think about that.
Ball inside.
Hart, Betancourt, 1 gone.
Now back.
One thing I'm doing right now is I'm watching all of the Marvel films in timeline order. So I'm at Thor right now. This one, past Stark. Runner will be aboard.
Now
Brings up
batting,
G.H. Jackson.
shortstop, number
That was just the second hit given up by Stark. Still locked in.
right.
Hart, Texas, Betancourt, the Dragon, special 4-6-3, and we're heading to the top of the 5th inning. Yes, I watched, I did watch Falcon.
Number 18. That's inside.
I thought it was good. What was interesting, it's not really a spoiler, so I don't mind talking about it, is that they actually, like, the Flag Smashers, a big reason why, like, they're so upset is because they weren't getting vaccines for a disease that was fabricated in Madripoor, and they cut that
The third baseman,
from, like,
number
the
35.
entire series because of obviously, like, current status of the world, and also, like, people saying that, like, oh, COVID was manufactured in Wuhan.
Ball
So if
inside.
you're wondering why the Flag Smashers' whole vendetta wasn't really fleshed out, it's because it was, but they had to completely cut it. That's why when they first encounter the Flag Smashers, that's why, like, they've got, oh, they're with a whole bunch of the vaccines.
Shortstop,
That's what it was
number
supposed to be.
12. Inside.
Dallas, Texas, nobody out. Runners on first and second against a tense Grogu.
Strike. Take your base.
And that'll load the bases, nobody out, and here is Kip Shaw. And this could get ugly.
32. Strike.
This ball is hit deep, tracking back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Grand slam for Kip Shaw, and it's 9-0 Walkers.
Second baseman. Now pitching.
That'll do it for Grogu. He's rattled. Sam Flowers is gonna come in. Unicorns are finally living up to my expectations. The Walkers are a good team. Don't be confused by their 4-3 record. Walkers are a good team. I would say the fact that you're getting shut out by a number 4 pitcher is a little bit tough. This ball is hit deep, tracking back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Almost the same exact spot, and we're into double digits.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 5.
Because, Whitney, you couldn't hit them.
Now batting, the
Walkers actually know how to hit.
number 5.
Full count, 2 gone,
Take your base.
and loses them.
Now batting.
Brings up Severus Sevicycle Shernley.
Number 34.
2 gone, runner at first, 10-0 lead.
Outside.
This game got massively slowed down. This ball is jacked, heading deep to the track, and caught at the wall by Covey. 5-run score off of the Kip Shaw Grand Slam and the Eddie Ortiz solo home run.
The first base.
It's 10-0. Look at how dirty that home plate area is. All the runners.
Strike. No, outside. Strike 3, you're out.
And he gets rung up there.
Now batting.
That'll bring up Condra Covey.
Center fielder. Number 2.
1 gone. Stark still locked in.
Strike. That's up. No.
Full count.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Earns a walk. A little bit of life for the Unicorns.
The catcher. Number 8.
Allie Morton now. Runner at first. 1 gone.
Foul ball.
Texas. Hart. Betancourt. 6-4-3 Dragons special. And we're heading to the 6th. It's still 10-0.
Now batting. The left fielder. Number 18. No. Strike.
Galileo Cat 0 for 1 today. 2 walks though. And this ball is jacked. Heading deep to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Galileo, the Unicorns, let me go. He's got some revenge against his former team that never called him up to the majors.
Number 35. That's inside.
Here is Ronald Doctor.
Ball inside. That's up. Take your base. Now batting.
Walk there.
The shortstop.
Here's Dallas, Texas.
Strike. Ball inside. Ball inside. Ball 4. Take your base.
Walk. Back to back.
Batting, the center
And,
fielder, number 32.
Well, this is nobody out for Kip Shaw. Locked in.
Strike.
Well, yeah, Elder, it was just a funny quip. Because you did let him go. Not like you traded and got capital for him, but goes with the phrase. Fouled off, full count.
Ball 4. Take your base.
And Kip Shaw earns a walk.
Now batting, the second baseman. Now pitching.
And that'll do it for Sam Flowers. Turner Andrews will come in. Yeah, and that's the whole thing with why aging is so strict,
Ball high.
is because of progression like that.
Strike. Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. He gets rung up there.
Now batting, the catcher. Number 44.
Bases loaded, 1 gone. Eddie Ortiz, he already has a solo shot. Odor, Jackson, Irons. 4-6-3 Dragon special, and it's now only 11-0. Heading into the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting, the right.
Good homemade biscuit. See, now I want to get a Popeye's biscuit.
9. Strike.
Now I'm really looking for a Popeye's biscuit. Elder, who hurt you? Who hurt you, Elder?
That's down. It's outside.
Full count, Austin Earp.
Strike three.
Sweet! Got rung up there. I was gonna say swing and a miss, but he didn't swing. No swing, no miss.
13.
Well, no. Homemade food is good, but you didn't say, oh, fast food is gross. You said Popeyes is gross.
Number 47. Off the plate.
Also, I don't think fast food is gross. I think homemade food tastes better. Fast food still tastes good, especially when it's from Popeyes. Like their chicken sandwich. Oh,
Out. Now batting. The left fielder. Number
French tater, 2 gone, 1 out, or 1 on first. HelloFresh is just overpriced. I did every plate for a while. That bad.
That's low. Ball 4. Take your base.
Tater earns a walk.
Now batting. The third baseman. Number 21. That's inside.
Brings up Ash Frost. Runners on first and second. Best opportunity so far today for the Unicorns. If they want to get back into this game, they need to get something here.
Strike. Strike three.
And she gets rung up there. Whole bunch of goose eggs for the Unicorns today. 11-0 Walkers.
First baseman. Number 5.
Okay, it's starting to make a little bit more sense. With context, you make more sense.
Now batting.
Still a very strong statement.
Number 5.
Also, I will say, if you're not from the South and you're not used to the grease and like the amount of grease, I had a roommate who made like Southern fried chicken. That thing was covered in grease.
That's up. Strike.
Full count to whack it. Turner Andrews is locked in. Does Turner Andrews, someone look up Turner Andrews' stats. What are his pitching stats?
Now batting. The designated hitter. Number 34.
Severus Sevi Cycle Shernley. Gonna be 0 for 4 today. Bad you. 41, 44, and 36. So barely better than Ryzen.
Now batting. The left fielder. Number 18.
Galileo Cat. Galileo! Let me go to second. RBI double for Galileo Cat.
Now batting. The third baseman. Number 35.
12-0 Walkers.
Ball low.
There are some players where it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how good Galileo Cat is, as much as it doesn't make sense how good Ura Irons is. Speaking of which, he's up to bat this inning. Seventh things, just want to thank everybody for tuning in today, as I'll do it for Dr. Rowan Baloney. Get in on the Unicorns revenge action.
Ball inside.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you are following the official SSBL Twitch and join us in the Discord for everything SSBL related. Isaac here with you on the call. Day 2 of interconference play. We've got Squared on the call tomorrow. Caught by Kip Shaw for the first out. And here is Ura Irons, who's hitting well
Now
above his.
pitching. Number 40.
That'll do it for Stark. And here is someone who has rebounded after an interesting start to the season. Nice side by Dallas, Texas. I thought at first in time. 2 gone.
Now batting. The center fielder.
Yeah, but Rowan is like the sidekick who never really did anything wrong, but like he's like Galileo might be like the only person that he knew on the team when they first got there. Similar to how like I envision Betancourt and Crewhart are probably a lot closer now. They're on the same team. Someone put that they're dating in the lore.
Shortstop, number 12.
If they want to walkers down the aisle. Dallas, Texas lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning. Popped up, one gone.
Now batting, the center fielder.
So if this holds on,
Strike. That's up. Foul ball.
the Walkers would move to 5-3 as he gets rung up there.
Now batting, the
They've got games against the
number 9.
at home against the Lumberjacks, Vikings, and Retrievers. Week 8, week 9, week 10. Then they've got the Gauchos, Dragons, and Knights. So pretty difficult schedule for them. They're the Vikings, Dragons, and the Knights. So this would be an important win for them to get, especially if they still have desires to win the division, not just make playoffs, but win the division. And it's definitely possible for them, given how close the Legends division is. And a loss tonight for the Dragons would put them at 6-2. A win for the Walkers here would put them at 5-3. So if the Dragons were to lose tonight, they would be only one game back of the division leader. That'll do it for Andrus. Stephen Wayne will come in, runners on first and second, 2 gone. Right to G.H. Jackson. Here is a tense Allie Martin 0 for 2. Her hitting woes are. I keep on doing this. I'm sorry, guys.
18.
It's not happening. That one's right up the middle. For the Unicorns, the loss will put them at 3-5. Will put them on the outside looking in for the playoff hunt. Only a half game back of a Skulls of Rock squad and an Angels squad, so they're still very much in talks. Back to the let's see. As he gets rung up there. Divided by 4.75. 4 divided by 5. Actually, the ball players are in a playoff spot. Caught by Crewhart.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 47. Strike. Off the plate. Strike. Ball inside.
Grace McSorley. Swing and a miss. He gets rung up there. Right into the 9th inning. It's 12-0 Walkers.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 5.
Unicorns for the rest of the season. If they go 3-5 again, they would be a half game out of the last playoff spot.
Ball inside.
They have got a tough schedule. Following this game, they've got at Serpents, at Wildcats, 2 games against the High Rollers, and then to end the season
Now batting,
at Cyclones and at home against the Angels. So again, I know Elder's not trying to make playoffs, but
ball high.
next 4 games, you know, you got to think if they win 1 out of their next 4, they could still. Oh, Jose Odor, what a grab! They could still be within striking position with those games against the Cyclones and Angels. Galileo. Cat has a home run, a double, 2 walks, and he's going to pop out here. Odor makes the grab, 2 gone.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 11.
This one is into center right, and Walkers are looking to add more. It's going to be 13-0, putting on a full-on rout over the Unicorns.
Now batting, the shortstop,
A
number
win
12.
here, by the way, would put the Heroic at 4-1 in interconference play, as the Unicorns are looking just to not get shut out. So far, the only Heroic team to not win in interconference.
Now
Longfield
batting, the left
lost
fielder,
8-0 earlier today to the Stingers, only the Stingers' second win of the season. The Longfielders continue to be an enigma, a team that has been able to go toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in the Heroic, and at the same time be one of the worst teams in the Heroic.
strike,
No idea what to think of.
no high,
Honestly, same thing with the Unicorns. They're doing surprisingly well considering their squads. That one's past the glove, Dallas, Texas. Give Stingle by French Tater.
now batting, the third baseman, number 21. Outside,
Going forward from the Walker, this is
strike,
not just a
right,
celebrate and continue on. This is a celebrate for right now, but then put your eyes back on the road, because
zero,
you've got a great chance. As he running up there, Walkers honestly have a pretty decent chance, given the reloading that they did.
number
Walkers have a pretty decent chance of winning the. Again, especially if the Dragons were to lose next game, only be a game back, and it's. Listen, I'm the Dragons manager. I know what my team is. It is Dana Pepperoni versus Kyle Edwards against a Cyclone squad that actually has a set lineup. The doctor actually put together a lineup that has since reflected the acquisitions that they've had. So, not an easy win for the Dragons.
baseman, number 10.
So if they were to lose, an already interesting Heroic Legends division just gets all that more interesting.
No outside. All four, take your base.
That'll be a walk to irons.
Now batting, the center
Here's Kondrakovi, bases loaded, one gone. All that said, watch Kondrakovi hit a grand slam here and keep this game going.
that's outside. Strike. Follow. Double. Strike three.
Swing and a miss. She got rung up there.
Now batting, the catcher, number 18.
Ali Martin now, bases loaded, pops up. And that's gonna do it here at Shaka Sports Turf. The Walkers take a 13-0 win. Second shutout of the day. No runs scored for the Unicorns even after they loaded the bases there in the bottom of the ninth inning. 3 for 3 was Wingspan Wackett, 2 for 4 Galileo Cat, 3 home runs for the Walkers. As for the Unicorns, pretty much everyone got in the action except for McSorley, Covey, and Earp. Stark gets the win, 6.1 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Great performance from her. Shit gets the loss, 3 innings, 4 earned runs, 7 walks, 19 walks. Hold on. 19 walks. Do you guys see this? Given up by the Unicorns pitching. That's gotta be a record. Holy jeez, man. Kipshaw Player of the game, followed by Galileo Cat and Eddie Ortiz. Well, when we come back, we've got our nightcap game of the day, Cyclones versus Dragons. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the SSBL right here on Twitch. It's time to break down. Sweaty Hands Visac here on the call. Actually, now that I think about it, it might have been 19 walks last season at the Serpent Cup, because I remember Whitney changed the Serp BBs. Here we go, and I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Cyclones colors. They've got the Miami Vice going on. Looks like most people predicting a Cyclones win tonight. It's gonna be Kyle Edwards versus Dana Pepperoni. Number 4 for the Dragons versus the number 1 of the Cyclones. Jet County will lead things off.
The first baseman, number
Get my stuff settled. Up the middle, and that's a lead-off single for Jet County. Came in today batting 10 of 28, 357 average, 1.006 OPS. Brings up Doug Kelly, 7 for 26 this season, 269 average, 864 batting average. Dana Pepperoni, 6.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run given up, 1.4 ERA, 0.79 whip, and that is a walk.
now batting the catcher.
So runners on first and second, and here is Jerome Diligence. 7 for 28, 250 average, 847 OPS. So already, Dragons striking. Can we just look at this color matchup? It's very soothing. Also, the player was that there was a Dragons fan that was flipping into a Cyclones fan.
Number 12.
So with that, bases loaded, nobody out for Hugh George III. Dana Pepperoni already in trouble here. 2 walks and a hit. George 0 for 2 this season, looking for his first hit. Has a great opportunity to get it here. And instead, Dana Pepperoni, 3 straight walks, and it's 1-0 Cyclones.
The third baseman, number 17.
Already tense, and now here is Woody Arbor. This could get ugly. 12 for 28 this season, 429 average, 948 OPS. 1-2 count. Just misses outside. Esposito, the second in time, throw to first in time. Dragon special, 1 more run will come in to score. And here is Fat Hugh, runner on third. 2-0 lead for the Cyclones here, the top of the first. I'm a fan of the pink. I love me some Miami Vice colors. Even as an Orlando City fan. 4th walk given up by Dana Pepperoni this inning.
The right fielder, number 12.
Brings up Sebastian Angelo. 8 for 28 this season. 86 average, 712 OPS. Rio, and is this going to be the 5th walk by Dana Pepperoni? No, it's going to be jacked ball back to the track, to the wall. It's out of here, and the Cyclones are up 5-0 over the Dragons.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 7.
No, it's 5. Timberwoods. Yeah, it's still early Pandora, but the Dragons are facing Kyle Edwards. Timberwoods this season, 5 for 25, 200 average, 526 OP. That was Angelo's first home run of the season, by the way, as he gets rung up there. The Dragons already in a hole. We'll see what they can do as we'll get our look at one of the greatest aces in the game. You know him, Kyle Edwards, 13.2 innings pitched this season. 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 14 strikeouts, 1.32 ERA, whip below 0.9, and 9.22 strikeouts per 9 as he rung her up there. Sawyer goes down looking. Sawyer entered today with a 7 for 31 average, 226 average. Dub Esposito, 11 for 36 this season. 306 average, 842 OPS. He's got a 3-1 count here. Right to the glove of Jet County for the second out. Brings up Harry Do Something Von Crum. 11 for 27 this season. 407 average, 1.25 OPS. Surprisingly, has 2 other teammates ahead of him. This ball is hit deep into center. It's getting hung up though, and at the track, it's out of here! That one snuck over 397 feet. Don't know how it got over, but it did. I love the Dragons uniforms, Pandora, and the reason why is because I am right in saying that the Dragons colors are green. 3-1 count to Sponge Cooper. He's 11 for 27 this season, 407 average, 1.22 ERA. By the way, that was Harry Von Crum's 3rd homer of the season, and a walk to Sponge Cooper. His 10th of the season. Brings up Will Freishak, the Dragons. 14 of 31 this season. 452 average, 1.34 OPS. Had a couple of 3-run home runs. 0-2 count though. Pops up. Kyle Edwards to settle underneath it. Makes the grab. So 1-run score. Cyclones still have a 5-1 lead heading to the top of the 2nd inning. Javon Lames to lead things off.
Now batting,
Batting 5 of 25 this season, 200 average, 459 OPS. That one's into the gap in center, and that's just going to be a single. Sickley had a good beat on it. So again, Dana Pepperoni struggling here. Back to the top of the order, Jet County. Oh, 2 count. Popped up. Sponge Cooper. Makes the grab. 1 gone. Here is Doug Kelly. We might actually see some pitchers for the Dragons today that aren't named Arms Melee and Woody Scottish. Fun fact, there have been only 2 pitchers, as that one's right to Sponge Cooper. They try to get the runner first, not in time. There have only been 2 pitchers from the bullpen for the Dragons this season. It's been Woody Scottish and Arms Melee. Melee has pitched barely 3, as runner will advance to second there. 1-0 count at Diligence. This is inside, 2-0. Donna Pitchwell has not seen action, as well as Faith Burnswell. Swing and a miss. He got rung up there. Half my pen has not made an appearance, and one of the pitchers hasn't even pitched 3 innings. Woody Scottish has pitched 12.1 innings this season. The main reason, Whitney, is because all of my starters have gone deep. Libby Sickley, 11 for 31 this season. Hit deep but foul. 355 average, 863 OPS. This is into left and should be manageable there by Lames for the first out. Brings up Vanessa Marzo. 8 of 29 this season, only 1 home run. Right to Jet County, steps in the bag, 2 gone. And here is Gary Starr, second best hitter on the team this season, 13 for 26, good for a 500 average, 1.248 OPS. Fun fact, nobody on the Dragons has hit a triple this season. Spool Thomas Jr. has hit 2 for the Cyclones. 2-2 count for Starr. This is high, full count. That one's up the middle. Starr is aboard. He's above 500 this season now. Leads the Dragons with above 500. Now bring up Steven Diaz, who looks like his twin. 7 of 26 this season for Diaz. 269 average, 810 OPS. No homers, no triples for Speedy Diaz. Yeah, R.I.P. Spool Thomas Jr. relegated to bench duty. Still on the Majors roster, did not get sent down. And that'll be a walk to Diaz. We'll go back to the top of the order. Debbie Sawyer now. Hasn't necessarily been the best leadoff hitter in the league by any stretch of the means. Got an opportunity here with runners on first and second. 2 gone against a very good Kyle Edwards, but already down 0-2. Side 1-2 count. Fouled off, stayed alive. And she gets a run up there. Caught looking on a curve. Dragons leave the runner stranded. We'll head to the top of the third. Hugh George III, Woody Arbor, Fat Hugh. Now that we've been able to get through some of the stats, we'll talk about how these teams got to where they are. Cyclones started the season out with a 3-2 win over the Stingers and then had 4 straight losses. 3 of those losses were by a combined 4 runs. That's the 5th walk of the evening for Pepperoni. Lost 7-6 to the ball players, 6-1 to the Sermons. And that's going to do it for Dana Pepperoni. Arms Melee is already getting the call in. Early pull for Pepperoni, but honestly just did not look solid. Also lost 3-1 to the Bombers and 4-3 to the ball player. And then started to turn around, 10-9 win over the Stingers, 6-1 win over the Angels. Coming back from a 16-2 loss to the High Rollers yesterday before interconference play got started. This one's up the middle. Runners on first and second, nobody out.
Now
Brings up Fat
the
Hugh.
second baseman.
As for the Dragons, they have not lost a game since their opener. Lost 4-7 to the Vikings, and then it's just been a run palooza. 16-0 over the Walkers, 29-5 over the Gauchos, 5-1 over the Retrievers, 12-1 over the Lumberjacks, 10-4 over the Knights, and most recently 7-2 over the Vikings, splitting the series with the Vikings. And that's a walk. Dragons pitchers just can't seem to find the plate.
Fielder, number 20.
Bases loaded, nobody out, and here's Sebastian Angelo. He already had a 3-run homer. Right to Von Crum, throw to second in time to throw to first. Not in time. Maybe should have tried to get the run at home. It's 6-1 Cyclones, 1 gone. Runners on first and third. Here is Timberwoods.
Nope, that's high. Nope, that's high. Nope, outside.
3-1 count to Woods. Popped up. Shallow right. Debbie Sawyer will make the grab. 2 gone. Here is Jabron Lames. 1 for 1 with a single. Runners on the corners. 2 gone here in the top of the third. 6-1 Cyclones lead. Here in the last game of day 2 of interconference play. Heroic currently leads the interconference play 4-1. Wins by the Knights, Vikings, Moonshots, and Walkers. Stingers were the only win for the Epic so far. 2-2. This is low, full count. Runner at first will go.
Take your base.
And earns a walk, so the bases will be loaded for Jet County.
Baseman, number
Great chance to deal damage here for the Cyclones. One swing from County could put them in the double digits. 1-2 count to County. This is the zone. Right to Esposito, throw to first. In time, so the Cyclones put a lot of pressure, only get 1. Still 6-1 lead. Esposito, Von Crum, Cooper due up for the Dragons.
third baseman, number 15.
Ball high.
Edwards pitch count a little high, nothing about. Approaching 50 here. Nice dive by Jet County. Throw to Edwards, step on the bag, 1 gone.
Now batting,
Here is Harry Do Something. Von Crum had a homer in the first inning.
9.
Right to Timberwoods, throw to first. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 2 gone.
Now batting,
And here is Sponge Cooper.
baseman, number 99.
0-2 to Cooper. This is high. Right to Jet County, step of the bag. 1-2-3 go to the Dragons. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. Doug Kelly, Jerome Diligence. Hugh George III, due up.
Now batting, the center fielder, number now pitching.
And that's it for Arms Melee. He only goes 1 inning. In comes Woody Scottish, and first pitch swung on, hit deep. But that's a high arc. He is there for the first out. A quick pull, especially considering, I mean, I know Scottish could potentially go the rest of the game. It's highly doubtful that he will, so we will see another Dragons pitcher not named Scottish or Melee today, and that one is out of here. Jerome Diligence makes it 7-1 for the Cyclones. Entering today, Woody Scottish had pitched 12.1 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs,
Designated hitter,
7 walks, 10 strikeouts, 2.92 ERA. So we will see Faith Burnswell. Again, Scottish still could go, but Scottish is not going to go. Burnswell or Ghana Pitchwell. Pitchwell would be the First appearance for him in the majors, despite being on the roster since day one.
Third baseman, number 17.
Got the call up over Wayne Oreo, the former Super Series champion with the wrong fielder.
Nope. Low.
1-2. The Arbor. Swing and a miss. He gets rung up there. Cyclones add another though, and they're starting to pull away here from the Dragons. 7-1 heading to the bottom of the fourth. Freishak to lead things off here for the Dragons.
Number 82.
That's inside. That's off the
Not quite Dallas, Texas expectations on Will Freishak here for the Dragons. Certainly has produced in the beginning of the season. We're starting to see him fall back down to earth past games.
Batting, the
One gone. Here is Libby Sickley. Kyle Edwards getting his pitch count under control as well. Be a huge key for success here for the Cyclones. If he can get out of this inning 1-2-3, his pitch count will be well under control. Popped up, center. Got by Doug Kelly. 2 gone.
now
Brings up
batting,
Vanessa Marzo.
catcher, number 28.
inside. That's low. Nope. That's high.
Well, I mean, it's a short season, so inevitably everything falls back down to earth. Full count, Kyle Edwards backs in. Marzo swings at a ball, foul back. That one, a tough dive there by Fatty. The throw to first in time. Vanessa Marzo too slow. Well, no, it's just when you go from 3 straight games of 3-run home runs, and then you don't hit a 3-run home run in the next game, you're no longer hitting at the same pace that you were. It is also me. You have to understand that. So, of course, I have my expectations for myself.
Now batting, the right
One gone. Here is Angelo.
number 20.
Ball low.
It's funny because I have people inquire about Will Freishak, and I'm like, no, you're not getting him. Will Freishak will be a Dragon for the rest of his life. That one is into the gap, into center. Runner will take for second. It'll be a double for Angelo.
Now batting, the short.
Here is a tense Timberwolves, 0 for 2 today. Runner on second. Can this be third straight inning for the Cyclones where they score a run?
Inside.
Sponge Cooper.
Without.
Von Crum, 2 gone. Angelo moves to third, and here is Jabron Lames.
Left fielder, number 19.
Opportunity to get another run here for the Cyclone.
Nope. Inside.
They need to just slowly pull away
That's inside.
that 5-run stint in the first inning.
Nope. That's high.
Quickly 3-0 from Scottish, and he does not want to face Jet County. He needs to get Jabron Lames out here.
Take your base.
That'll be a 5-pitch walk from Scottish. Dragons pitching all over the place. And here is Jet County.
Number 29.
Runners on the corners, 2 gone. 0-2 counts. That one past the glove. Sponge Cooper, what a grab! Suction cups it. Throw to Von Cromman for the first time since the second inning. The Cyclones don't score. Gary Starr, Steven Diaz, top of the order, due up for the Dragons.
Shortstop, number 6.
Kyle Edwards now locked in, approaching 70 pitches. That's just what the Cyclones want to see.
That's outside.
Comfortable lead at 6, but like to make sure that it doesn't get back. And Gary Starr, for the second time today, has a single up the middle. I'll bring up Steven Diaz.
Fielder, number 35.
69 pitches for Kyle Edwards. Double play an opportunity here. Steven Diaz is kind of fast, though. Will that be caught? No! Just past the glove of Timber Woods. Call that a bomber special. And now here's a tense over to Debbie Sawyer. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Best opportunity yet for the Dragons. Gabby Sawyer needs to prove herself here. Popped up behind the plate. Fouled. Once again gets behind 0-2. This one popped into right. Runner will tag at second. And advance to serve. So one gone. Runners on the corners here for the Dragons.
Now batting, the third
Dub Esposito now 0 for 2 today. Kyle Edwards back down to neutral, but still has got great stats. 75 pitches. 1-1 count.
Ball.
This is high. 2-1.
Ball. High.
3-1 count to sub Esposito.
That's ball.
And that'll be a walk. So the bases will be loaded. One gone for Harry Do Something Von Crum.
number 89.
Captain of the Dragons squad, along with Brock Hansen, and he's got an opportunity to put his team on his back here. Get them back into this game. This one is up the middle. One run will score. Doug Kelly throws home. He's got an arm, so only one will score, so the bases will remain loaded. Now 7-2, one gone. Here is Sponge Cooper now.
Nope, that's high.
Whitney, am I fair to say Sponge Cooper has fallen back down to earth after a good start? He definitely has fallen back down to earth. 1-2 count to Sponge Cooper.
Inside.
This is high and inside. 2-2. And a beanball to Sponge Cooper. That'll bring home another run, and the bases are loaded for an 0 for 2 Will Freishack. That'll do it for Kyle Edwards, and that's what you want to see. Iggy Lancaster will come in for the Cyclones. Just the man that they want. One of the best relievers that the Cyclones have. 2-1 count. This one, diving Fat Hugh. He makes the grab, throw to second in time, the throw to first, not in time. Freishack beats it out. The run comes home.
The center fielder, number
7-4, runners on the corners, and here's Libby Sickley 0 for 2 today. Lancaster this season, 3 innings pitched.
Foul ball.
He hits 1 earned run, 3.0 ERA, averaging 12 strikeouts per. 1-2 count.
Strike.
Swing and a miss. She got rung up there. But the Dragons put up 3, or getting back into this game. Led to the top of the 6th. Kelly, Diligence, Hugh George III due up for the Cyclones.
the center fielder, number
Heart of the order will look to respond after the Dragons put up 3. One, two count. Left side, that one will get through. Single for Doug Kelly. Bring up Jerome Diligence. He's 1 for 2 today.
number 10.
That's outside. Off the plate.
Quickly 2-0. Scottish behind.
Off the plate.
This is the zone 3-0.
Take your base.
And it has just not been a good day for accuracy for the Dragons pitching, as that might be the 9th walk.
Number 12.
No. It might be the 8th. I think it's the 8th. I think Mealy had. It might be the 9th.
That's inside.
Runners on first and second, nobody out, and here is Hugh George III.
That's low.
2-1 count. Back on the runner at second. Don't want Kelly to steal third. Popped up. That one is through. Runner will go home. The throw by Debbie Sawyer is not in time. Cyclones put another one on the board. It's now 8-4. Runners on first and second.
Number 17.
Here is Woody Arbor. Woody Scottish is tense. Popped up. Sponge Cooper is there. First out.
Now batting, the second baseman.
Brings up Fat Hugh.
number 66.
0 for 2 today with, or 0 for 1 rather today with 2 walks. 0-2 count. Front of the plate. Go to third in time. They'll try to get the runner up first, but not in time. So they get the lead runner.
Now batting, the
Two gone. And here is Sebastian Angelo. A home run and a double today. 4 RBI. He's got another chance here.
Nope. Outside. Inside.
2-0. Scottish again struggling to find the zone. Again behind 3-0. Finds his, I guess that's a strike zone. 3-1. Full count, 2 outs, runners will go. Popped up, staying alive is Angelo. Staying alive again is Angelo. Again, swinging late. And the fantastic at-bat from Sebastian Angelo. Another run will score. It's 9-4 Cyclones. I'll bring up Timberwoods 0 for 3 today. Scottish back down to tense. After a 9-pitch at-bat with Angelo.
That's foul.
Popped up, Harry Von Crum.
Out.
Makes the grab, so the Cyclones get 2 back. 5-run game heading to the bottom of the 6th. Marzo star Diaz due up for the Dragons.
Now batting, the catcher,
Here's a tense Vanessa Marzo.
28.
Inside.
1-2 count to Marzo.
Ball high.
High is Lancaster. That one up the middle, and that one gets through. Marzo is aboard with a single. The homer runs butterfly effect. Put that in the lore. Here is Gary Starr, 2 for 2 today, 2 singles.
Nope, that's high. Nope, outside.
2-1 count to Starr.
Ball outside.
Outside, 3-1.
Foul ball.
Swings on, full count. Popped up behind the plate, that's foul. Fouled off again. And he gets rung up there, caught on the outside.
Now batting,
One gone, and here is Steven Diaz, bottom of the order.
number 35.
That's down. Ball high.
3-1 to Diaz.
Foul ball.
Fouled off, full count again. Fouled off again. Swing and a miss. He gets rung up. Lancaster, 2 full counts, strikes out both.
Number
Now 0 for 3, Debbie Sawyer, runner at first.
Outside.
1-1 count. Left side off of the glove of whoever's at third. I don't know any.
the third baseman, number
So Stub Esposito now, runners at first and second, 2 gone. And that's right to the glove of Jet County. Dragons don't get anything. We get to the top of the 7th. Javon Lane, top of the order, due up for the Cyclones.
now batting, the left fielder, number 19.
Hey, make sure whenever you say Gauge Deputy, you mention that she's the utilitarian Gauge Deputy.
Nope, no.
Woody Scottish is still tense, and I would be too after that walk. Dragons pitching cannot find the zone today.
Now batting, the first
That'll
baseman,
bring up Jet
number
County.
29.
This might be Scottish's last batter.
Off the plate.
6 straight balls from Scottish.
That's low.
7 straight balls from Scottish.
Steve.
Finally finds his zone, but will probably throw a ball here. Actually doesn't. Full count. Runner up first. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. 9-4 Cyclones lead.
Take your base.
There's the ball. That'll be a walk to Jet County. And will we see our
Now
first
batting, the center fielder,
pitcher not named Woody Scottish? We will. It's got to pitch well.
number 55.
The rookie makes his first appearance.
That's outside.
And his first batter that he has to face in the SSBL is Doug Kelly and forces him into a Dragon special. Nice work from Pitchwell.
The catcher, number
So runner on third, 2 gone.
Nope, that's high.
Into right. And Ghana Pitchwell has done what no Dragons pitcher has done yet, which is hold them scoreless for an inning. Get Scottish out of the jam. Led to the bottom of the 7th. One. Thank you everybody for tuning in for week 2 interconference action, or day 2 rather, interconference action. I'm Fisek on the call. Be sure to are following the official SSBL Twitch and join us on the Discord for everything SSBL related. Harry Do Something Von Krum, 2-2 count. His team down by 5 runs. Into shallow center. Nice diving grab by Fat Hugh. What a grab. Did what Timberwoods couldn't. 1 gone. What is art? Thanks for the follow.
Nope, that's high.
Sponge Cooper. 2 count.
Ball inside.
This is full count. And he gets rung up there, caught looking. And that brings up the 0 for 3 Will Freishack. That'll do it for Luncaster. Donald McDonaldson will come in. Cyclone's been able to hold these Dragon Bats relatively silent. Will Freishack gets his first hit of the day. The board with a single. 2-out rally, and here is Libby Sickley 0 for 3.
Center fielder, number 30.
Is a lot of pink.
That's inside.
Left side, Woody Arbor, throw to first in time. Libby Sickley is 0 for 4 today. But to the top of the 8th, it's still a 5-run game for the Cyclone.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 12.
To George III. Popped up. Sponge Cooper.
You're out.
Grab, 1 gone.
Now batting,
Brings
the
up
third
Woody
baseman,
Arbor.
number 17.
Off the plate. Nope, that's high. Inside.
Rio count.
Take your bases.
And a 4-pitch walk from Pitchwell.
Now batting,
Once again, the Dragons cannot find the zone.
66.
Brings up Fat Hugh. Runner on first, 1 gone here in the top of the 8th inning. 9-4 Cyclones lead. 5 straight balls from Pitchwell. 6 straight balls from Pitchwell.
Nope. Inside.
7 straight balls from Pitchwell. Finally finds the zone.
Off.
And make it 8 out of 9 pitches balls. Runners on first and second, and call it a cycle watch, because here is Sebastian Angelo. He's got a home run. He's got a double. He's got a single. He is locked in. Ghana Pitchwell cannot find the zone. Finally does. Shallow into center. Diving. Libby Sickley is not able to stop, or not able to make the grab. Cyclones enter double digits.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 7.
Ball high. Foul ball.
Timberwoods 0 for 4 today. Right side, Harry Von Krum is there. 2 gone now.
Now
Up Jabron Lames. 3 walks for
number
Lames.
19.
Runners on second and third.
Ball inside.
Gone. That one's up the middle. 2 runs will score, and it's 12-4 Cyclones.
Now batting, the first
A
baseman,
reinvigorated Cyclones lineup.
9.
And talking of which, that's all with Jet County 1 for 4 today. And at this rate, we might even get to see Faith Burnswell as well. Which would mean all Dragons pitchers will have then showed up at some point this season. 2-2 count. Popped up. Left center. Sickley is there. Makes the grab. Cyclones now have a comfortable 12-4 lead running to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yeah, I would say so.
Now batting, the catcher, number
Nessa Marzo, 1 for 3 today. First pitch swung on into left.
Out.
Ron Lanes is there. 1 gone.
now batting, the
What's
shortstop,
up, Gary Starr?
number 6.
Ball high. Out.
Left side, and Gary Starr is just finding a way to get singles today. 3rd single of the day. He's aboard.
Now
Here is
batting,
Steven Diaz.
the left fielder, number 30.
1 gone. Runner at first, 12-4 count. Robot. Dragons are 6-1. No idea if they're gonna make the playoffs. Dragons were 6-1 last season and didn't make the playoffs. Dragons went 6-2 last season and didn't make the playoffs. 1-2 count. Right side rather, and that is another single for Steven Diaz. He's 2 for 4 today. Back to the top of the order. 1 for 4, Debbie Sawyer.
Fielder,
Runners on first and second, 1 gone.
14.
I think the Heroic looks different than it did last year in terms of like the bottom seeds, but this division, the Heroic Legends division, is very 1-2 counts.
Nope, that's high.
Tie, 2-2. This ball is hit deep into center. Doesn't have enough carry at the track. Making the grab is Doug Kelly. Runner heads to 3rd. Runners on the corners, 2 gone. Now bring up 0 for 3 sub Esposito.
Baseman, number 15.
Dribbler right to Fat Hugh, throw to first in time. Dragons starting to get nothing. We're into the 9th. Cyclones looking to lock out this game.
Now
They
batting,
do.
The center fielder, number 14.
The Interconference will go to 4-2 for the Heroic, with the only wins coming from blowout wins from the Epic sides, to be fair. Go ahead and take a look at what these teams have coming up for the Dragons. They have to face the Moonshots, then they'll face the Wrong Fielders, Lumberjacks, Walkers, Knights, Overdrafts. So a pretty
Now
fair
batting,
schedule.
catcher, number 10.
Cyclones have to face the Serpents, 2 games against the Skulls, then Wildcats and Unicorns. This is deep into right, but should be manageable for
You're out.
it's the grab, 2 gone.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 12.
Brings up Hugh George III.
Ball inside.
2 outs here in the top of the 9th. And if Pitchwell is able to close out Hugh George,
Foul ball.
that means that Faith Burnswell will still not have appeared for the Dragons this season. Swing and a miss! He gets rung up there, and Faith Burnswell has yet to throw a single pitch for the Dragons in the Season 6 campaign. Now, if the Dragons score 8 runs here, sure,
Number 89.
Faith Burnswell could potentially come in, but this one's right to Woody Arbor. Throw to first. In time, 1 gone.
Now batting,
Sponge Cooper.
second baseman, number 99.
Ball outside. Ball high. Nope, that's low.
KO count to Cooper.
Ball 4-2.
And a 4-pitch walk to Cooper. I'll bring up Will Freishak, 1 for 4 today.
Designated hitter, number 82.
Won't be able to hit a 3-1 home run.
Nope, inside.
Into right.
You're out.
Top by Angelo.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 30.
Now I'll bring up Libby Sickley, who was 0 for 4 today. Popped up behind the plate, foul. 1-2. And that one to the gap in center right. Dragons aren't done yet. Doug Kelly is there. He'll throw it to the cutoff man. Runner's coming home. The throw by Van Yu, not in time, and that goes behind the plate. So it's 12-5, and here is Vanessa Marzo.
Now pitching.
That'll do it for Don McDonaldson. Rachel Kim, acquisition from the Skulls, will come in. And this will do it. Popped into right. Cyclones will take a 12-5 win over the Dragons. Dragons for the second straight season will be 6-2 through their first 8 games. 12-5 win, 11 hits apiece, but the deciding factor was the walks. 13 walks given up by Dragons pitching, only 4 given up by the Cyclone. Sebastian Angelo, 4 for 5, nearly hit for the cycle, was a triple away. Harry Starr, 3 for 4 for the Dragons. E. Lancaster will get the win. Janet Pepperoni will get the loss, and we saw Ghana pitch well for the first time this season. Faith Burnswell is yet to make an appearance. Who even knows if she's still on the Dragon squad? Sebastian Angelo, your player of the game, followed by Jamon Lames. Well, that's going to do it for us here today. Squared will be on the call tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got our last day of interconference action heading in around probably 7 p.m. Central, I would guess. Maybe 6:30. Verbal, let us know. I've been a Fisac. Thank you for joining us on the call. Until next time, everybody, keep on rigging.